Thank you, Amy. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Philly. Philly happens to be the headquarters of Comcast. And as you can see, Comcast is big. And a question you may ask is, how do you secure a business of this scale, this complexity, and this diversity of businesses? And we think that it is really important to have a well-defined mission. The mission for Comcast Cybersecurity is we protect the incredible technology and platforms that connect millions of people to the moments that matter. This is a really purposeful mission for our 2,000-plus cybersecurity professionals. This group of people is not just mission-driven, they are extremely innovative. Last year, more than 10% of all patents granted at Comcast were granted to the Comcast cybersecurity team. I am so proud of that. Thank you. That's applause for my team, yay. So we also take a very long-term view of security. And for that, we have defined 3 North Stars. Our first North Star is build security and privacy into all of our products and services. This is what Amy just talked about when she referred to secure by design. It's also known as shift left. Our second North Star is that we use data to make sure that we are improving the security effectiveness of our solutions. And our third North Star is that we operate on zero trust principles. Now, these have been our North Stars for 7 years. We really do take a long-term view of security. And sometimes we make revolutionary progress, but usually it's evolutionary, slow, steady progress along those 3 North Stars. Now, I know you've been waiting for this slide. You can't do a presentation these days without the word AI. So as you all know, in 2023, generative AI became part of our collective consciousness. And people at Comcast, including the cyber team, were so excited. Oh my, new ways of doing things, new tools and methods to take advantage of. So we started thinking, okay, how does cyber adapt to this? And I will talk about this in our framework of our 3 North Stars. So we were already doing things like threat modeling, pen testing. We were finding and fixing code vulnerabilities. We started to now adapt these processes. We looked at the OWASP LLM Top 10. We looked at the MITRE Atlas guidelines. We did our own research. We learned from our peers. And so today, threat models now incorporate things like, do we know the provenance of not just the training data, but the model? For prompts, do we have things like guardrails? Are we looking for hallucinations? Are we doing input validation? Are we looking for data exfiltration? And we've learned a tremendous amount. What is surprising to me is that in less than 2 years, 1 out of every 5, so that's 20% of threat model and pen testing findings at Comcast today result from our developers building AI solutions. That's an amazing transformation in less than 2 years. Now, as we're doing this, our CTO's office is building tools and platforms for our development teams. So we are creating an AI benchmark, sorry, I've lost the word for a minute, AI workbench, sorry about that, and also maturing our AI software development lifecycle. So an example of that is that we've built a tool where you can do a prompt or a natural language input, and the outcome is user stories for our development teams. Well, part of that process now includes generation of security user stories. So that is how we're integrating. Now, we're also using AI to improve some of these processes. For example, for threat models, we used to require an architectural diagram of some type. Today, we've built tooling that goes directly onto developer wikis or developer documentation, and it extracts all of the relevant information, summarizes it, and now you can do threat models much faster than before. Same for pen tests. Pen tests take a lot of preparation, and then a QA, and then the reporting. All of that is ripe for GenAI, leaving pen testers to do what they like to do best, which is to pen test. On the second North Star, we really got lucky, because when GenAI burst onto the scene, we already had a very mature security data lake. We had 10 petabytes of data, 2 years of history, about 100 data sources, already normalized, already correlated. And as we started to look at what GenAI was bringing to the table, it was like party time. Everybody was so excited about the new capabilities that our data was about to unleash. So today, our network reliability engineering team uses our data, the security data. Our asset management team uses our data to identify likely owners of assets without owners. We also have a chatbot that reaches out to the owner and makes sure they claim ownership. Remember that 100 data sources I just talked about? Well, maintaining those data pipelines was becoming tremendously resource intensive. So we have developed a 6-stage GenAI pipeline that does everything from look at the content and shape of the data coming in, to generating the code that generates the schemas and then populates the schemas. So that entire process is now automated, freeing up a ton of resources. And I can't leave this slide without talking about GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. We are finding that this is the most ripest ground for use of GenAI. So we have so many bots there today already. We have an AI bot that talks to our continuous controls compliance system. We have bots that look at SOC 2 attestations. We have bots that generate, fill out vendor questionnaires. It's just really almost every few weeks there's a new use case that emerges. And then finally, if you look at our third North Star, identity and segmentation are cornerstones for Zero Trust. So we have built something we called One Risk Engine that looks at every user authentication at Comcast, and it risk ranks it. And we do this with all of the contextual information that we have about our company, our people, and our infrastructure. And again, for microsegmentation, we really, really rely on things like AWS security groups. We have built our own microsegmentation platform, and AI is really helping there as well. Because one of the big issues with microsegmentation is to figure out who your tenants are talking to and who is talking to your tenants. That's where AI really helps us. Now, all of this is really great, having North Stars and a mission and an awesome team. But we also need governance and controls. And for that, we have continuous controls monitoring. We really focus on security hygiene, that grunt work that nobody wants to do, but is really important for security. We focus on operational excellence. And then finally, our strategic partnerships are so important to us. And this is where our 6-year-old partnership with AWS is so, so valuable. These are just some of the AWS capabilities that my cyber team uses at Comcast. So thank you, AWS. And with that, I'm going to close thanking you, wishing you a wonderful rest of the day and an awesome rest of the conference. Thank you.